Jamie Dornan gets emotional about divorce from Amelia Warner. I had no other choice. The London afternoon was cold, the sky was grey and cloudy, just like Jamie Dornan's mood at the moment. He sat alone by the window of his newly rented apartment, his eyes staring out at the bustling people on the street as if hoping to find some answer. The question had been repeating in his mind for months. Could we have saved it? Amelia Warner, the woman Jamie had sworn to hold for the rest of his life, was no longer his wife. Just a week ago, the two signed divorce papers in silence. No tears, no arguments. Just a sad agreement after years of trying. He clearly remembered the first day they met, in 2007, at a small party. Amelia had the gentleness of an independent artist, her eyes were deep and her laugh was like a soft folk song. Jamie fell in love with her at first sight. They were neither a noisy nor a superficial couple. They raised a family in secret, away from the paparazzi, and created a home of three that everyone admired. But what had changed? The unseen cracks. Love never dies loudly. It goes out quietly like a candle in the night, Jamie thought as he opened the diary Amelia had written for him. The pages were discolored, but the soft lines were still there. I miss you even when you're in the same room. It's the scariest feeling. Jamie paused. The long days of filming, the months away from home for film projects, the awards ceremonies he attended alone. He thought Amelia understood. But perhaps, in her silence were tears he had never seen. His career took off after 50 Shades of Grey, but the price he paid was the absence of a husband, a father. Even though he always carried a picture of his wife and children in his wallet, it seemed that it was no longer enough to keep them together. The last time together, the night before they signed the divorce papers, they sat across from each other in the kitchen, like two old friends. No one talked about lawyers. No one mentioned assets or custody. Everything was neatly arranged. Jamie remembered the look in Amelia's eyes that night, no longer angry, no longer loving. Just a heartbreaking serenity. Do you still love me? She asked. Jamie bowed her head. A tear fell onto the old wooden table, the table where they used to sit together every weekend morning, drinking coffee and listening to jazz. I don't know, Jamie whispered. I'm tired. I feel like I'm living two lives, one in the spotlight, one in the shadows of family. And you're waiting for me in the dark alley. Amelia nodded slightly. She knew the answer all along. I had no other choice. In his first post-divorce interview, Jamie was asked a simple question: if you could do it all over again, what would you do differently? He was silent for a long time. Looking into the camera, he replied, I had no other choice. We reached the limit of love. There are moments when you know that love is not enough to save everything. And the best thing you can do is let go. The interviewer was stunned by the honesty. No excuses, no blame. Just a man learning to accept. Jamie talked about the loneliness of being in a hotel in New York, filming for 16 hours a day, then looking at his phone and not seeing a message from his wife. Amelia was exhausted in her role as a full-time mother, composing music, taking her children to school, and coping with the long absence of her partner. They had no scandals, no third parties, no scandals. Just no love, the children and the future. Jamie paused the longest when talking about the children. His voice choked up. They are the most beautiful thing we've ever created. And I would never let this breakup hurt them. He and Amelia agreed to share custody. Each child would have time with both parents. There were no fights, no screaming. We're separating as adults, Jamie said, but we're a team that never breaks up. In a video posted later, Jamie was seen taking his daughter to school. He was wearing a grey hoodie and a beanie, not looking like a Hollywood star at all. Just a dad trying his best to keep something intact. The silent healing. After the divorce, Jamie disappeared from social media for a while. He refused to take on new roles. He traveled alone to Iceland, living in a small wooden cabin near a frozen lake. There, he wrote, not scripts, not books, just fragmented thoughts, unanswered questions. Every morning, he made coffee, watched the snowfall, and listened to himself. We didn't fail. We loved each other, and now, we're letting each other go so we can be more true to ourselves. Jamie wrote in a letter to Amelia that he never sent. New beginnings. A year later, Jamie was back on screen. He appearing in an independent film, no noise, no big budget. But it was the most honest role, a man learning to love himself after loss. The film was not decoded, but Puberty After the Wound was the biggest award Jamie got. At a film premiere in Toronto, a member asked, "Do you still believe in love?" Jamie smiled gently, her eyes no longer friendless. "I do, because no matter how it ends, love has made me better."